naman po ngayon si DOTR Assistant Secretary for Railways, ASEC Jet Aquino, na mag-uulat naman po tungkol sa mga proyekto sa pangunahing railway systems at hindi lamang po dito sa Metro Manila kundi sa iba pang lugar sa bansa. Good morning, ASEC.
Good morning and maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Para naman po sa rail sector, no, sa hindi lang po sa Metro Manila, pati sa mga nasa ongoing projects natin sa labas ng Metro Manila. Makikita po natin na yung ating mga progress, no, sa ongoing railway projects. Una na dyan ang North-South Commuter Railway projects natin na from Tutuban, Manila to Malolos, no, Bulacan, we have attained 40% construction progress. Yung Malolos to Clark, Pampanga section, we are already at 30.22% construction progress. At yung Manila to Calamba, Laguna naman natin is already at 4.75% progress by end of April this year. Ngayon, ang ating Metro Manila Subway Project na ito ay tatakbo mula Valenzuela hanggang NAIA Terminal 3 and Bicutan, we are already at 13.7% construction as end of April this year. At meron naman din po tayo yung ating existing line, no, yung sa LRT1, which runs from Baclaran to FPJ. Ito po ay ma-extend, no, and it will have additional na 8 stations, and yung current na from Baclaran hanggang Dr. Santos Avenue, ito po ay inaasahang magbubukas, no, or mag-uumpisa ng operasyon by end of this year. Ito ay, we have attained 73% construction progress. And finally, yung sa MRT-7, ito naman yung tatakbo mula North Avenue hanggang San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Nasa 69.8% construction progress na po tayo. Next. Okay. Now, kung maaalala po natin, noong March 25 of this year, naglabas ng administrative order ang ating presidente, AO number 19. Ito ay ang Interagency Committee for Right-of-Way Activities, no, para sa ating mga railway projects. And gusto lang namin ipaalam sa lahat na nagkaroon na kami ng first meeting, first kick-off meeting, at nagkaroon na rin ng pangalawang meeting. Ito ay nangyari noong April 25 and nitong May 30. Now, sa pagkakagawa nitong Interagency Committee, inaasahan natin na mapapabilis, no, ang mga activities pagdating sa right-of-way dahil meron na tayong direct line na pagko-coordinate sa ating mga ibang national agencies din involved in land acquisition, resettlement, environment, at iba-iba pang right-of-way acquisition efforts ng DOTR. Ang miyembro ng IAC ay ang DOTR, DSUD, DILG, Department of Finance, DBM, DNR, DSWD, DOJ, and OSG. At ang PNR naman ang nagsiserve bilang secretariat nitong Interagency Committee na to. So, nabanggit ko po kanina, no, ang partial operations ng extension ng LRT Line 1. Ito po ay magkakaroon ng additional 5 stations, no, na mag-uumpisang mag-operate by end of this year. Ito ay ang Redemptorist Station, ang MIA Station, Asia World PITX Station, Ninoy Aquino Station, at ang Dr. Santos Avenue Station. So, magiging additional na 6.35 kilometers. And sa kasalukuyan, ang ginagawa na ngayon ay may mga test runs na tayo para ma-ensure natin na pagka ito ay nag-umpisa by end of this year, hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng problema. Para naman po sa ating Metro Manila Subway Project, meron na po tayong 3 tunnel boring machines, no, na ito ay already operational, and yung ating 3 tunnel boring machines nakapag-bore na siya ng 1 kilometer, 1.1 kilometers at 105 kilometers, no. So inaasahan natin na meron pang 2 tunnel boring machines na mag-uumpisa ng kanyang operasyon by hanggang end of this year. Okay. Meron din po tayo para sa North-South Commuter Railway, yung ating Bukawi to Malolos, no? Ito yung pinaka-viaduct, no, or yung guideway ng ating tren para doon sa ating contract package 02. Si Sumitomo Mitsui Corporation have actually completed 100% civil works para sa 14-kilometer na viaduct na ito. So yung viaduct naman na from West Valenzuela to Bukawi, they're also expecting it to be completed within this year. So yun po ang ating mga accomplishments for this year para sa railway sector po. Maraming salamat po.
Ayan, maraming salamat, ASEC Jet, sa pagbabahagi ng iba't ibang rail projects. Very excited na ako, ASEC, dun sa LRT1 extension. Kahit partial opening siya, by the end of the year, 5 stations ang inaabangan natin na magiging operational. So maraming salamat po sa inyong update. So at this time po, para makita po natin ang mga naka-line up pa na programa at proyekto para sa transportasyon, panoorin po natin ang isang maikling audiovisual presentation na prepare po ng DOTR para makapagbigay ng serbisyong tinatawag na CASA o Comfortable, Accessible, Safe, Sustainable, and Affordable Transport System sa buong bansa. So please, let's tuon po tayo ng atensyon sa ating screen.
The Department of Transportation and the country's transport systems continue to evolve over the decades since it was established in 1899. Over the past 125 years, the Department of Transportation continues to serve as the government's primary transport policy, planning, coordinating, and implementing agency in the promotion, development, and regulation of dependable and coordinated transport networks. Under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the DOTR has been relentless in improving the country's public transport system. Transformation of the country's transport system is in full swing.
My order to the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, is really very simple. Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead. In his first State of the Nation address, President Marcos directed the Department of Transportation, full speed ahead. In compliance, the department set the goal of elevating the country's transport systems to global standards. As one of the lead agencies implementing the Build Better More infrastructure development program of the Marcos administration, the Department of Transportation and its attached agencies is fast-tracking the completion of projects in the aviation, maritime, railways, and road sectors. In the aviation sector, the DOTR launched the rehabilitation and modernization of various airports, starting with a public-private partnership of the operations and maintenance of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, improvements at Clark International Airport, ongoing land development works for the construction of the new Manila International Airport in Bulacan, and PPP of the operations and maintenance of the Laguindingan Airport and Bohol Panglao International Airport, construction of greenfield airport projects such as the Bukidnon Airport, New Dumaguete Airport, New Zamboanga Airport, General Santos, Virac, Puerto Princesa, Ormoc, Calbayog, Cataraman, Butuan, Camiguin, Tacloban, Davao International Airport, and several more airports for development. Meanwhile, major leaps have been achieved in the railway sector. Construction is in full swing for the North-South Commuter Railway, LRT-1 Cavite Extension, MRT-7, and the Metro Manila Subway. Upcoming rail projects for implementation soon include MRT-4, South Long Haul Railway, Mindanao Railway Phase 1, Subic-Clark Railway, among others. Embedded in the massive railway system development is the development and improvement of competencies of human resources through the Philippine Railways Institute. Under the road sector, the DOTR is continuously implementing the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program to reform and improve the public transport operations in the country, complemented by the Service Contracting Program and the Fuel Subsidy Program. The DOTR is also promoting the use of active transportation through the establishment of bike infrastructures nationwide. Aside from this, the sector will also build the EDSA Greenways project to conveniently connect MRT-3 to other modes of road transport using elevated and eco-friendly walkways along selected segments of EDSA. The agency's road sector is also improving land transport in Metro Manila's R3 with the EDSA busway, in Cebu City with the Cebu Bus Rapid Transit, and in Davao City with the Davao Public Transportation Modernization Project. DOTR's maritime sector, composed of the Philippine Coast Guard, Maritime Industry Authority, Philippine Ports Authority, and the Cebu Port Authority, have been relentless in upgrading numerous seaports and ensuring the coastal cities and communities are competitive for trade, investment, and tourism. These transport infrastructure initiatives created an overarching spectrum of opportunities for the country's economic development by addressing transport bottlenecks and gaps. The Department of Transportation has been consistent with its trust and long-term outlook by investing in mobility and connectivity across the archipelago. Secretary Jaime J. Bautista remains laser-focused on the goal: provide comfortable, accessible, safe, sustainable, and affordable travel experience for all.
Yan, maraming salamat po. Napanood natin ang mga completed at ongoing project ng transport at mga transport infrastructures and programs na layong iangat ang antas at gawing world-class ang mga travel experience ng ating mamamayan sa bansa. Patunay na ang mga proyekto ito ng DOTR under the Bagong Pilipinas ay damang-dama na rin ang pagbabago. Kaya hinihikayat natin ang suporta ng ating mga kababayan upang makumpleto ang mga proyektong ito at makamit ng publiko ang mga inaasam talaga natin na benepisyo. Ayan, so maraming salamat po, DOTR. Puntong ito, bubuksan po natin ang Q&A, pero we would like to acknowledge po muna our media friends na nandito po sa atin, kasama natin ngayong umaga. Andito po yung Balitang A to Z, Radyo Pilipinas, Net25, GMA Network, GMA Integrated News, ABS-CBN News, PNA, Bravo News, TV5, IBC 13. We also have One Media, Daily Tribune, and of course, syempre hindi mawawala ang PTV4, DZRH, DZXL, and yun po ang may mga paparating pa po. Humabol po, GMA News Online at saka Business World. So yan, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo and good morning po. I-open na po natin ang ating question and answer.
Good morning po. Denise Osorio po ng but this question po is addressed to the railway sector, Ms. Jad. The railway sector has frequently reported issues with the right-of-way acquisition. What is the department doing about this?
Hello. Yeah. Good morning again. No? Magandang umaga ulit sa lahat. With regards to the right-of-way activities of the railway sector, with the support of the President, he has issued Administrative Order number 19 last March 25. And with this IAC or Interagency Committee, this actually gives the DOTR a direct line to coordinate sa iba pang mga national agencies. And this one, nagkaroon ng first meeting noong April 25 at ang pangalawa is May 30, and we are scheduled to have an IAC meeting every month. Now, during the meetings no, of this IAC, isa po sa mga napag-uusapan dito ay yung mga best practices no, para ma-streamline o mapadali ang proseso ng ating right-of-way activities para sa ating railway projects in a way na magkaroon tayo ng ating tinatawag na whole-of-government approach. So gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, ang members ng IAC or Interagency Committee na ito is DOTR, the DSUD, DILG, the Department of Finance, DBM, DENR, DSWD, Department of Justice, and OSG. And syempre, ang PNR naman ang tumutulong dito sa IAC as secretariat. Thank you.
All right. Si Sir. Yes, sir.
Rambo Labay ng DCXL RMN. Address ko sa railway system. Sir, kailan ba talaga operational itong MRT-7? Kasi 2022, naudlot ito eh. Naudlot 2022. I-divert po. Anong epekto nito sa operational, yung date of completion? Gagana pa ba ito, itong MRT-7? Kasi mukhang i-divert tapos nag-usap yung mga LGU, 2022 na udlot. Ang tanong ng taong bayan, gagana pa ba ito? Yung MRT-7? O paano ang gagawin natin?
Magandang umaga po ulit at maraming salamat po sa inyong tanong. Regarding MRT-7 po, no, ang MRT-7 ito ay yung magmumula ng North Avenue hanggang San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Ito ay inaasahan na magkaroon ng 14 stations at ang inaasahan natin dito ay once operational, magkakaroon ito ng mga 530,000 daily ridership. So sa tanong nyo po no, na kung kailan ba talaga ito magiging operational, inaasahan po natin na magiging operational ang first 12 stations. No? 12 stations by end of 2025. So, uulitin po natin, meron po itong 14 stations, pero yung first 12 stations, magiging operational na po ito by end of 2025. So, ina-expect po natin na yung dalawang susunod na mga estasyon, which is station 13 and 14, ay magiging operational 1 year after, no? Yun po ang ating ma-update sa MRT-7. Maraming salamat po.
Yan. So, thank you po for your question.
Follow up, tatakbo pa to? Tatakbo pa yung ano?
Yung
Yung MRT, ma'am? 7, tatakbo pa. Kasi yung sa nagkaroon kasi ng ano eh, 'di ba? Yung divert na divert. Oo.
Yes po, ito po, mag-uumpisa po ang operasyon nito sa 2025 mula po North Avenue hanggang bago mag-Caloocan Station po.
So asahan na yan ng mga mananakay, mga riders.
Tama po.
Ayan, sir. Maraming salamat po from DCXL. Tama po ba? Okay. Dito naman po tayo sa kabilang microphone. Okay, siguro mag-entertain na lang po tayo ng ilang questions muna and then we will have the live stream sa PTV po and then we will continue our Facebook Live na lang po. So, sir, good morning po. Please state your name and your affiliation po.
Good morning po. Victor Cabuenas from GMA Online. The question is addressed to the railway sector. Good morning, ma'am. Just wanted to ask for updates on the subway project, especially the right-of-way. Have we addressed the issues with the cultural property with the DepEd already? Thank you.
Thank you very much po for the question. No? With regards to the subway project, as I mentioned po earlier, no, currently we already have 3 tunnel boring machines na operational. And as of now, the first tunnel boring machine has already done 1 kilometer. Yung pangalawa is 1.1 kilometers. And yung pangatlo is at 105 meters. No? Relative to the right-of-way, as you mentioned on the DepEd station, we are currently in discussion and coordination with the Department of Education, the NNC, and also the National Cultural Commission, no, with regards to how we can address the concern po ni NNC, no, and ni DepEd on the said building. Thank you po.
Next question ko po kay ASEC Georgette. ASEC, tungkol po dun sa kung nakausap na po ba ng DOTR si LGU ng SJDM regarding dun sa nangyaring hindi ata pagkakasunduan na idadivert. Sinusugan ko lang yung yung question ni DCXL kanina na ililipat daw yung way nung lugar kasi nga hindi nagkasundo dun sa lugar. Ano po ba yung balita? Nakausap nyo na po ba yung LGU ng SJDM ulit?
Maraming salamat po. Actually po, kami ay ongoing ang aming pakikipag-usap at coordination with San Jose del Monte LGU. No? At isa po sa aming napag-usapan ay pag-aaralan namin yung kanilang pinopropose na alignment. Hindi naman po hindi kami nagkasunduan ng LGU at ang DOTR. Pero sa pagtutulungan ng LGU at DOTR, tinitingnan din natin kung ano yung mas mabuti, no, at mas mapapakinabangan ng mga constituents ng San Jose del Monte at ng ating mga pasahero. So ongoing po kami ng discussion and inspection para mapag-aralan yung kanilang proposed po.
Last one na po. Kaya ba nating mas pabilisin pa yung kasi sabi last time 2027, 2028 pa yung possible na fully operational na nung MRT7 eh. Possible kaya na mas mapabilis natin para dun sa mga pasahero?
Yun po ang ginagawa ng DOTR, kaya napagpasyahan na yun nga po na magpa-partial operations po tayo nung first 12 stations by end of 2025. At inaasahan naman po na yung next station, Station 13, inaasahan natin na ito ay makukompleto at magiging operational by end of 2026. And kung maging tuloy-tuloy na po ang ating usapan with San Jose del Monte LGU at finalize na po natin yung alignment na magiging mas mabuti para sa ating mga pasahero doon, inaasahan naman po natin na ito ay makukompleto by 2027. So ang ating mga pasahero sa may Commonwealth Avenue, ito ay magiging operational na by 2025, end of 2025 po, from stations 1 to stations 12. Maraming salamat po.
All right.
Good morning, Princess Castro, One Media Network. This question is for everyone. With all the projects mentioned earlier, since nagka-transition na tayo sa La Nina, ano yung mga paghahanda para hindi maantala o makaapekto sa pagtapos ng mga proyekto, or are we expecting any delays from that?
Kay Nino po nakatuon ang inyong question. Sa lahat po ba ng ating mga speakers?
Yes po, DOTR, Kaap, Marina.
Para po sa ating mga ongoing na railway projects, ang ating contractors naman po ay handa na magpatuloy ng kanilang construction, kahit pagdating ng La Nina. Ito po itong mga projects naman po natin ay hindi lang ngayon nag-umpisa. Ito po ay ongoing ng ilang taon na. So aside from their preparedness, we also learn from our experiences ng mga previous years para maiwasan natin yung mga naging problema ng mga nakaraan na rainy season. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat sir, at talaga namang nabigyang linaw ng ating mga resource persons ang mga concerns at mga proyekto, mga programa at talagang nailapit po sa ating mga kababayan sa tulong ng ating mga partners sa media industry. So, dito po nagtatapos ang ating ikalawang episode ng Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga naging panauhin at nakasama ngayong araw. Sa mga nanonood sa atin online, sa susunod na Martes po, June 11, ang magiging panauhin naman po natin ay ang mga kawani from the Department of Social Welfare and Development o DSWD. Hanggang sa susunod na Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas, maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga.